why you should stop focusing on the costs of porn addiction. People on Nofap, they often say things like, oh, pornography, it makes me so numbed, it makes me feel so bad, it makes me feel dead inside, it creates anxiety, and all these bad things, right? So people, they focus on the costs. And what happens is that when you focus on these costs, actually, it only makes things worse, okay? Because you're not really tackling the internal issue, are you? So you keep craving for it, and that's because focusing on costs actually doesn't help at all. Yes, on the short term, you may get a little bit of motivation, which we call willpower. So you may last a few hours, a few days, but essentially, like, at the end, you will relapse again. And that's not weird, because imagine you really like playing football, but your mom told you football is dangerous and you should stop doing it, you can get injured, you have all these costs, right? But you still really like playing football. Then of course, you will be urged to play football. You won't listen to your mother, no. You will actually want to play football. You will crave for it. So same way with pornography, if you tell yourself, oh, you can get, with the case of football, you can get injured. So with pornography, oh, it makes me feel bad. Oh, I can maybe get depressed. That's not gonna stop you if you think pornography is really something fun, right? So instead of trying to scare yourself to abstinence, you can better actually look at why you want to do it. Okay, look at the internal issue. The interesting part is this: we human beings, we don't make decisions based on costs. Okay, otherwise we would never buy a coffee, we would never buy a house, we would never make like all these decisions, right? But economically speaking, life is just about constraints. Money is just a constraint, and we human beings, we just see like what is the best way to, with the money we have, with the time we have, to make the best out of life, to get the most pleasure out of life. So you see, it is not about costs. Costs are not gonna stop us from making certain choices. Actually, it's about the benefits. In behavioral sciences, we call this the pleasure-driven principle. And this means that we make decisions not based on costs. So not based on, oh, it's gonna make me, it costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of time, it costs a lot of energy. All those things. That's not how we make decisions. We make decisions based on benefits, based on pleasure. So the pleasure-driven principle basically means that you choose the option that you perceive as the happiest option. Now let me give you this example. There's a new couple and they want to buy a house. And they have two options. One is a small apartment and the other is actually a big house. The big house, when we take a look at the costs, it has so many costs. Like a huge mortgage, you're stuck in there for the rest of your life, you have to clean up, the big space, much energy cost, all these costs, they're so huge. And then the small apartment actually has little to no costs, okay? Just a small rent and you can move away whenever you want. The interesting thing though is that this couple still decides to get the bigger house. While compared to the smaller house, it has so many costs, right? So you see, they don't make the decision based on cost. Why did they actually buy the bigger house? Ask yourself that. What was the reason for buying the bigger house? And you might figure out they bought it because they saw benefits in it, right? Like status, emotional value. They just think that's gonna make them happy. That's the point. So these costs, they did not stop them to buy the bigger house. Well, it has more costs, right? And then we don't say like, oh, you're addicted to buy the bigger house, you are forced to buy it. No, that's a rational choice that they make based on benefits. And we're not saying that those benefits are right. So like you can have false beliefs like, oh, status is so important to me, so I want a bigger house. Maybe status is not that important, Maybe that's not a good reason. But still, as a human being, you make a decision based on your beliefs. So maybe with pornography as well, you have these beliefs that it gives you these values, right? These benefits. And maybe they're not right, but actually as long as you believe in them, it's the rational choice to do pornography. Because let's be honest, if pornography truly makes your life better, why would you stop doing it? Honestly, like why would you stop doing it? And therefore, it's important to take a look at the benefits instead of the costs, okay? So same way with pornography, you take a look at the two options. So either watching pornography or not watching pornography. And then take a look at the benefits you get from both of them. And with this, you gotta be really honest with yourself, okay? So don't lie to yourselves. Don't say, I don't see any benefit in PMO. Just be honest and really think about it. So when you do this benefit to benefit analysis, you can actually figure out why you do what you do, why you still go back to pornography. And that way you can really make internal changes which will naturally also change your behavior. People that focus on the costs all the time, they just make their life so much harder because they don't want to quit, but also when they keep relapsing, they make themselves even feel worse. So that's like the worst thing, right? So instead of saying to yourself, okay, I get depressed by doing PMO, but I still do it for some reason. No, I do PMO, but isn't doing no PMO gonna make me happier? That's a benefit of no PMO. It makes me happier, okay? It gives me more energy. You don't say PMO gives me anxiety. No, you say not doing PMO makes me feel relieved. It makes me feel alright again. It makes me feel good again. So this way you look at benefits, and actually the costs of PMO are benefits of doing no PMO. So you have to just reverse them. So this way you can fix things internally and actually quit with a really easy manner, okay? And if you need more help with this, click on the link below to book a call with me for free and I will help you out. See you soon.